It is early February now, and the quiet truth of January is beginning to surface. Across America, the initial surge has thinned, but the belief remains. The belief that progress must hurt, that pain is proof, that suffering is the price of change. Many are still there, pounding treadmills with red faces and heavy breath, shirts soaked through, chasing a promise they were told only comes through exhaustion. They believe pain equals progress. But for a large number of them, something unsettling happens instead. The belly does not shrink. In some cases, it appears tighter, rounder, more resistant than before. This is not a failure of discipline. It is a biological miscalculation. What if the hardest workouts are quietly training the body to protect the very fat people are trying to lose? What if effort is not the problem? Alignment is. This film explores why visceral belly fat behaves differently from all other fat, and why the most effective solution is not running harder, but walking smarter. Not all fat is equal. The fat under the skin is passive storage. Visceral fat is different. It wraps around organs, responds to hormones, and behaves like an endocrine tissue. It listens to cortisol, it listens to insulin, and above all, it listens to stress. When the body perceives threat, it does not release visceral fat. It locks it in place. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense. Visceral fat protects organs during famine, illness, or prolonged danger. If your nervous system believes you are under attack, fat loss becomes biologically irresponsible. This is why chronic high-intensity cardio often fails people with stubborn belly fat. It elevates cortisol, it reinforces the threat signal, and it teaches the body to defend, not release. The human body runs primarily on two fuels, glucose and fat. Which fuel it chooses depends on oxygen availability and perceived urgency. When heart rate spikes rapidly, the body assumes an emergency. Fat is slow to oxidize. Glucose is fast. So the system switches immediately to sugar. This shift is visible through the respiratory exchange ratio. High-intensity movement pushes the ratio toward carbohydrate dependence. Once glucose runs low, cortisol rises. Muscle tissue is broken down. Amino acids are converted into sugar. Energy is produced, but at a cost. Walking in a controlled aerobic range tells a different story. Oxygen is abundant. Urgency is low. The body selects fat by default, not as a backup fuel, as a primary one. Calorie burn per minute may be lower, but the proportion of energy coming directly from visceral fat is dramatically higher. One of the most overlooked metabolic windows occurs immediately after eating, especially the largest meal of the day. Many adults with belly fat are not overeating. They are insulin resistant. Their cells resist glucose entry. Insulin rises higher and stays elevated longer. And excess energy is diverted to the liver and visceral fat stores. Muscle contraction changes this equation. When leg muscles contract, they activate GLUT4 transporters independently of insulin. This is not theory. This is well-established cellular physiology. Walking after meals opens a secondary pathway. Glucose enters muscle without forcing insulin higher. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. Blood sugar spikes flatten, insulin demand drops, and the meal is metabolically earned in real time. This single habit can outperform hours of random exercise when done consistently. Most people walk either too slowly to matter or too fast to stay aerobic. The simplest regulator of intensity requires no device. Nasal breathing. When breathing remains exclusively through the nose, carbon dioxide levels stay slightly elevated. This enables the Bohr effect. Hemoglobin releases oxygen more efficiently into tissues. Mitochondria receive what they need to oxidize fat. Mouth breathing dumps carbon dioxide too quickly. Oxygen delivery paradoxically worsens. Stress hormones rise, fuel selection shifts back toward glucose. Nasal breathing also releases nitric oxide. Blood vessels dilate. Blood pressure falls. Parasympathetic tone increases. The body burns fat while receiving a neurological signal of safety. This combination is rare in modern exercise culture, and extremely powerful. The human body adapts quickly to repetitive movement. With time, the same walk costs less energy. Efficiency rises. Calorie burn quietly falls. A light external load changes the signal entirely. A simple backpack weighing 5 to 10 pounds is enough to alter how the body responds. Stabilizing muscles are recruited. The core wakes up. Glutes and postural chains engage to manage balance and force. Energy demand increases without pushing heart rate out of the fat oxidation zone. But the deeper effect is rarely discussed. Mechanical load placed on the skeletal system stimulates the release of osteocalcin. This bone-derived hormone communicates directly with muscle, fat, and the pancreas. It improves insulin sensitivity and glucose handling at the cellular level. Movement becomes a metabolic message, not just a calorie burn. This is not cardio in disguise. It is deliberate metabolic engineering. Visceral fat is not driven by calories alone. It is deeply regulated by the stress response. Lowering cortisol is not optional in this process. It is central. Modern walking often misses this entirely. Treadmills, phones, screens. When attention collapses into narrow tunnel vision, the sympathetic nervous system activates. Biologically, this pattern signals threat detection. The body prepares to defend. Panoramic vision does the opposite. When the eyes lift and scan the horizon, and objects glide smoothly through peripheral vision, a neurological pattern called optic flow emerges. This pattern sends a direct inhibitory signal to the amygdala, the brain's threat center. Anxiety drops, cortisol falls. Walking outdoors without visual fixation is one of the most powerful non-pharmacological regulators of stress we know. You are not simply burning existing fat. You are quieting the signal that tells the body to store more. Morning presents a unique metabolic state. Insulin is low. Liver glycogen is partially depleted. Fat mobilization occurs rapidly. A 20-minute walk before breakfast accesses fat immediately. But the benefit extends beyond fuel use. Morning light entering the eyes anchors circadian rhythm. Cortisol peaks early where it belongs. Melatonin rises properly at night. Sleep quality improves. Poor sleep induces insulin resistance the next day. Better sleep restores metabolic flexibility. One walk improves the next night, which improves the next day. This is not effort, it is alignment. The fitness industry sells suffering because suffering is easy to see. Sweat looks like effort. Exhaustion feels deserved. But the human body does not respond to punishment. It responds to signals. When stress hormones rise, fat is protected. When the nervous system feels threatened, energy is stored, not released. These walking protocols send a different message. Glucose is guided into muscle. Fat is allowed to leave storage. Cortisol drops. Recovery accelerates. Weight loss is not forced. It is permitted. The body lets go when it feels safe and supported, not when it feels attacked. Today, do not plan a workout, plan a walk. Add a small load to your back. Close your mouth and breathe through your nose. Lift your eyes toward the horizon and allow your nervous system to settle into motion. This is not about doing less or lowering standards. It is about choosing movement the body understands and responds to. Movement that signals safety, efficiency, and balance rather than threat. If this perspective changed how you think about exercise, consider supporting the channel by liking this film and subscribing. And if walking has shaped your health or the health of someone in your family, share that experience in the comments. Those stories matter more than metrics. We will see you in the next film.